lot has been going on for me. The past year has been, really the past 2 years, has been just like it's like an accelerated learning curve. It's like unbelievable. The shadow patterns in myself, I've been meditating pretty much daily for almost every day for at least 6 months, and even before that, almost every day for a year. So I've been meditating quite regularly, and that my awareness as to my own thought process and ego dynamics has increased, which is nice. But it doesn't decrease the intensity of any of the emotions at all. So that is where I have a challenge, because I have a lot of awareness, but when it comes to embodying the emotions, that's where I get stuck. Particularly with the fear, which I'm getting quite good at, but the anger is a tough one for me. Being able to be present with my anger and express it consciously, which I'm doing more of. It's actually, I'm really proud of myself, because at least a handful of times in the past year, I've expressed anger consciously. So not like an immature child slam the door and run into his room, or you're bad and place blame, but I've expressed anger and said how I felt and did it consciously. So I want to give myself a pat on the back for that. So yeah, I mean, I definitely still have, ups and downs. But it's like, it kind of like Bashar has shared, it's like the ups are like incredible bliss, euphoric, like creativity is flowing, intimacy with some people is like unbelievable, and then of course, not necessarily of course, but I definitely have my downs, which they're not as far down as I used to go. So they last less long, I think because I have awareness as to them, and I'm more willing to take responsibility for the patterns, because I know they're a mechanism to not take full responsibility. Very deep ingrained ego mechanism that, from childhood. So that's me. So I guess I'll share some stuff that's going on in my life, is that I've been really expanding my creativity, just expanding it. So like 6 months ago, I had a really profound experience with my spiritual teacher, Thomas Hubel, and he gave me a really big pat on the back, and like a real big boost, paternal energy boost essentially, and which I'm excited, because I'm going on retreat with him in a few days, which should be amazing. His retreats are intense. See, different spiritual teachers have different energies they bring, and his energy is like Shiva. It's like he carries like a sword. It's like he doesn't take any bullshit. He sees through all your bullshit, and he wants your highest potential. But at the same time, as intense as he is, because he's a master, and the vibration of a master is very high. I think a bug flew in my mouth. His vibration is very high, so it triggers, because a person who has a lot of light, essentially when you're around them, all your shadows begin to vibrate to the surface of your present experience. So in these retreats, the intensity gets very high, and what's amazing is we have communication practices with the group, and we're all willing to share and deepen and cry and laugh and be vulnerable. Essentially be vulnerable. So anyways, I was sharing that. He gave me a boost last retreat, like, to pursue my creativity. And what I've been doing is, I started writing that book, Leaning into Life, which I'm on the second round of editing. The editing takes a lot of work. It should be out by early May at the latest, I'm hoping. Early May should be available. It took much longer than expected, but I really want it to be marketable to a large audience, because the people who've read it are sharing that it's very good. So I just want to make sure it's totally, no grammar errors, none of that stuff. I want it to flow. It already flows good. I really want it as perfect as possible. So I've been putting a ton of effort on that. I quit my job. I had a part-time office job. I quit just a week ago, really. It was my last day, so I'm going to have a lot more time to make videos, to write this book on Leaning to Life, I want to make a health book. I have a bunch of stuff. I started learning to play violin. What's amazing is that it's coming really easily. It's coming naturally. So the person giving me lessons essentially saying like what I like the ability that I had almost right away, like the sound that I was getting out of the violin takes some people years. So I'm a natural, which is amazing. Which is awesome. It probably is going to be a bit of time before I play anything on YouTube. You know, probably at least a few months, probably longer, like more like a year. But that's exciting because it's like when I'm playing, it's just like I've learned to start flowing, and you're so in the moment, and you just feel the music, especially being empathic. You feel the music, and you get into these spaces of creativity where it's like it's just whether it's writing a book. I started doing improv comedy. That's another thing, or playing the violin. There's the potential, which is kind of why I make these videos, to help people come more into their potential. Why I wrote this book is there's a space in which everything opens up, essentially. Everything opens, and it's just like the next thing you have to do. It's just everything's already forming in front of you, and you just need to stay on the wave. And you're just riding the wave of energy and creativity, and the energy's so high. It was bliss. It really is blessed. It's like who you are. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is our highest potential. So, though improv comedy is probably the other thing, which is, you know, I've only done it about 6 or so times, but I'm having a lot of fun. It's allowing me to bring a creativity and a playfulness and a childishness and all these little shadow characters that I have, or like people like when like all these patterns in people that I would usually like, oh, that's a shadow or a judge. Like now I can act them out and like play with them and be goofy with them. So it's bringing on a level of playfulness in my energy that I haven't had in a long time, which is nice. I just had a thought, what if the camera's not on? So I hope it's on, because I feel like this video is really flowing nicely. Just like I was saying with my creativity, my intuition is opening up quite nicely. really to levels that I could never have dreamed of. You know, the thoughts are dropping in, and I can sense when they're being fed to me, whether you want to call it higher self, whether you call it by the angels, by beings. You know, I had a dream where I was talking to Bashar, getting information. I've had dreams, my dream realms are just exploding, which I've always had an awareness into my dreams, where I'm talking to psychics in my dream, and I'm getting guidance in my dreams on questions that I have, and I'm calling this into my life, is what I'm doing. I believe that's why it's coming, because I'm calling it in, I believe it, and I believe it's going to come. So it already is. Kind of that's how the manifestation works. You have to believe it to be true already. So the dreams are opening, the intuition. See, the feminine energy is your access to intuition. So a lot of men, even women too, I write about this a lot in the book, is that it's your feminine energy that gives you access, your receptivity that gives you access to your intuition. So we're a hyper-masculine culture, so we're blocked off from our intuition, from our connection. So we want to open the play. A lot of men are like really serious. You want to open your playfulness. So yeah. That's about it, really. Oh yeah, so this summer, I'm going to be in Boston and New Hampshire for a few weeks. If anyone would like to connect, that would be cool. Just message me on YouTube or Facebook. I started going by Matthew and not Matt. I did an exercise with my teacher Thomas Hubel, and we do this. It's an exercise where you visualize your head kind of above your crown chakra, and you just visualize the letters, and you feel into the energy of your name. So in Kabbalah, it's said that your birth name was kind of ceded to your parents. It was given to them. Even though they think they named you, it was actually a higher intelligence that brought your name to you. and your name carries with you your energy that you're supposed to bring into the world. So for a long time I went by Matt, and if you actually feel the energy of Matt, it's sharp, it's quick, it's kind of back in and out. It's like, but then Matthew, it's rounded, and that's the energy. That's more of the energy. Well, I'm not going to share exactly what I experienced when I was feeling that, but it was a beautiful exercise. I would encourage you to do it, and I would encourage you to go by your full birth name, because a lot of us are afraid to really embody the power of our full birth name. So, yeah, that's it for now. I guess one other thing, I got the travel bug. So I think maybe this fall or winter, I may. We'll see. I mean, it's still a ways away. It's almost too early to even talk about it, but I may try to travel. Maybe South America, maybe woofing. I think woofing would be a great way to get connected to the earth. We'll see how things open up to this summer. You know how that feels intuitively. Possibly Hawaii. That would be cool. So hopefully this video was helpful. Hope you have a great spring. I'll be making a lot more videos now that I have a lot more time.